And of course, we mustn't underestimate the importance of the lag. If Joshua Filler wins it and gets on a roll, this could be over quite quickly. So let's now listen to all of the breaks on all 33 tables around this massive arena as this wonderful tournament gets back underway after a 2-year wait. As defending champion, Filler will lead off. Like a 33 cannon salute. The tournament is officially underway. And what an experience it is for Joseph Blyler, a local. He's come out with a specially printed T-shirt. He's no shrinking violet. We saw that from the intros.
Right. Little tester Filler left him to start. Looks like he's accepting.
Well, it was quite the fluke to get underway, but look where the one ball has come to rest. Immediately on top of the cue ball.
Beauty there. Legal hit. He had the angle to sort of caress that one in. You see the 4 and 6 are tied up. Maybe if he cuts the 2 in, he can come underneath the 8 down to the bottom rail and into the 6-4 to break them up. But let's see, awfully tricky.
What you're seeing here is the epitome of the US Open. Straight away, straight out of the gate. The big name against the unknown. All thrown into the same competitive pit.
Nice touch there. Good start for Blyler. Such a terrific player here, Filler, forgive the obvious. One of the all-time greats, still incredibly young, defending champ. Looks like he's going for kick safe of sorts. Oh, that's terrific.
It was. I think Blyler asked for that, though. That kind of shot for these kind of guys is pretty much routine.
You cannot leave these guys any air, as they say. And Filler with the initiative now.
By the way, racks already on the board. Billy Thorpe has won the opening rack against Raymond Linares. Billy Thorpe, the US Mosconi Cup player, will keep you right up to date with all of the tables as the day progresses. On table 2, Esteban Robles has taken the opener from Jason Shaw. Robles representing Costa Rica.
Oh, Blyler. What a great shot there. Was able to go 2 rails into the 4 and stick right there, bank it up and down, and leave Filler hooked. I wonder if he'll come 2 rails underneath and kind of play a two-way shot. Maybe make it, maybe play safe, or just go 1 rail straight away. Did go with the 2 rail route, and smart shot, well executed. Very nice.
Yeah, and he doesn't look overawed, does he?
Might have left him a window here to slice this one in, Phil. Not sure. He's handling himself well. You know, rack 1 against Joshua Filler on the TV table, it has to be a little daunting. Okay, Phil. Went for the bank, a little thick, and let's see if Blyler can clear these and get on the board against arguably the best player in the world.
His support would love that. He got a really big cheer when he walked into the arena.
Hometown fella. 6 to the 7 is a little tricky. Really nice there, a touch thin, but he had to leave himself an angle. Were he straight on the 6, it of course would have been a problem. Looks like he has a nice natural angle to just roll it in. Drift over to the side rail. Touch straighter than he would have liked. Probably just stop there and accept the touch of work on the 8. Could consider drawing back to play the 8 in the side or one of the top corners, but tried to cheat the pocket to give himself a slightly easier shot on the 8. Oh, it did drop, excuse me, pardon me.
Well, that was the ultimate delayed reaction. His heart must have been in his mouth.
Indeed, it looked like he even slammed the chalk frustratedly, and then the ball obliged. Got him screwed on pretty tight to start things off, Phil. Great start for Blyler.
It is quite clear from that Joseph Blyler is no ordinary Joe. The defending champion finds himself 1-0 adrift.
Put that 9 in with a bit of authority as well.
Well, the 7 was incredible. He didn't think he'd potted it, but it went in at the very last nanosecond.
It did.
So the break-in racks gives me the opportunity to keep you up to date with some of the scores on the other tables, and boy, there are plenty to go through. Billy Thorpe now 2-0 up on Raymond Linares. I can tell you Matthias Snigocki, a very good player from Poland, he leads Jeremiah Stanfield 2-0. And what about Esteban Robles, the Costa Rican, 2-0 up on Jason Shaw. Early trouble for the fast-spotting Scot.
Yeah, Jason's such a great player. Hard to be down 2-0 to start, but used to him getting it done.
Okay, then can Blyler continue on, sustain what he did in the first rack? Of course, 2 Germans involved in this one. The referee is Marcel Eckhardt, who is famous as being a tremendous official on the World Snooker Tour.
Oh, very nice. Of course, a delightful sight for Filler here. Runs the ball so smoothly and quickly. His pace of play is really brisk for this level. Likes to go one rail. Probably play the 5 up where he is now. It's got to settle. Let's see if he can squeak this one in the side or kind of has to play safe. Perhaps even the corner looks awfully thin from this angle. He could bank it cross corner up by the 7 and also play safe coming down to the bottom rail and using the 8 and 9 to block the 5 were he to miss.
Extension, please.
I think what we're witnessing here, even for Filler, is just a degree of acclimatization and also, one has to say, early nerves.
Absolutely, Phil. Looks like he's banking it cross side, a very aggressive choice, and he handles it beautifully. Hoping for a little love here. Does get that kind of awkward angle where he'll have to let his stroke out. Bit of low right, draw back to where he is, and it's well done there. A little bit touchy though. Gonna try to drag it back to center table or so.
It looked as though normal service is going to be resumed.
Very nice.
Filler wins the second round.
It was very nice. Blyler's lead lasted a very short amount of time. Filler equalises with some smooth stuff. Now, talking about smooth, what about Omar Al Shaheen, the Kuwaiti who reached the final of the World Championship earlier this year, losing out to Albin Ocean, who we're going to see in our second match this afternoon. Well, Omar leads 2-0 against James Prather from the United States, and there is Jason Shaw trying to make amends for what was a slow start. I told you he was 2-0 down. Another one, though, with the credentials to go all the way and collect this $50,000 first prize.
The third racket. The current score is 1 rack each.
Important for Shaw to just get bedded down.
That's a good one, though. Yeah, Stephanie? Yeah? Yeah. The third rack. So shall Filler to break. The current score is 1 rack each.
Okay, then, here we go with rack 3.
Well, and a nice sign for Filler to see that wing ball just fly in position on the 1. One would expect him to be on this feature table a lot, so getting acclimated to the break here is big, and we would expect to see him make work of this in relatively short order.
there's an interesting dynamic here because Pia Filler, who is Joshua's wife and greatest supporter, she's actually playing in the tournament also in around an hour's time against Daniel Kolokanok.
Very nice. Best of luck to her. Ah, nicely done. Just a touch of inside. And as you mentioned before, Phil, when this guy gets going, I mean, we're joking around about him winning the lag match over, but just like that, 2-1 Filler.
Yeah, you just get the feeling that for Joseph Blyler right now, reality might be biting. Filler goes in front.
Around the break now, aren't we?
They were still on
Yeah,
another
yeah.
guy. That's why I was thinking about
Yeah, obviously.
Welcome back to Atlantic City in New Jersey, and welcome back to the US Open pool, back on the calendar after a 2-year wait. Back in 2019, across this vast country at the Mandalay Bay Casino and Hotel on the Vegas Strip, the winner was that man, Joshua Filler. Now he's back to defend, and he started off pretty well against Joseph Blyler, a local,
Joshua Filler is leading
a minnow,
by 2
as
to
they
1
say
break.
in the UK. Filler leads 2-1.
Once again, the corner ball cooperates for Filler. And once again, he has a great look. Wants to leave himself an angle on the 2 to get over to the red 3 by us. And then an angle on the 3 to possibly play the 4 where he's queuing now. This looks a touch flatter than he would have liked. Maybe he can stun across or just pull it back a bit. Looks good there. Just has to watch out for the 7 when he comes across the table to play the pink 4. in that top right corner. Hang on. Very nice.
Again, short of pace. Filler not playing immaculate position so far.
Not in top form, but he pockets balls so well, he'll probably handle this thin cutter. Is he banking it? I believe he's just cutting it in. Yeah, really nice there. Well, let's see though, Phil. Cue ball rests on the rails, so of course he has some work cut out for him. Might elect to elevate and try to apply some backspin to pull the cue ball back, or perhaps he can just follow to the rail and out and accept a sort of tester on the 9.
I'm sure that's what he's going to do, because with these 4.25-inch pockets, you can't be too clever, you can't be too ambitious.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's not what you boys are used to over on the snooker side of things, but these pockets are quite tight. 4 1/4 is very responsible as far as difficult equipment. And let's see, it looks like he's using inside. At least he was sort of threatening to use high right and come around 3 rails. So difficult off the rail. He does just stun it to the rail and out and accept his work on the 9. Naturally a very difficult shot here.
Well, even for a terrific potter like Filler, this is most certainly missable.
Beauty.
I'll tell you what, that will boost his confidence immeasurably. Unusual to see an opponent clapping someone who's just knocked in a 9 ball to put you 3-1 behind, but that's what Blyler did there. This is the recent history of the US Open pool. And look at the big names who've won it in recent times. Mika Immonen, he not only won it, but defended. Same with Dan Appleton, same with Shane Van Boening. Joshua Filler trying to join that very exclusive club. Shane Van Boening, a 5-time winner and the only player to win it on 3 consecutive occasions.
Yeah, Shane's around lurking somewhere.
Yep.
By the way, the Joshua Filler match is being outpaced by the Jason Shaw match on table 2. Shaw is now 4-3 in front.
Wow. It looks like the 4 precludes the 3 from going in the bottom left, so I'll have a little bit of work cut out for him. Let's see what kind of angle he elects to leave himself on the 2 to try to navigate playing the 3 in the top right.
Well, that's a first for me. I'm used to working in commentary boxes. Here it's a commentary desk in the arena, and someone's just walked over and asked us where a certain player is playing, on which table. I've got no idea.
You know, these American fans, Phil, they can like he handled that quite well. Stuns it out to center table and leaves himself, I believe, a perfect angle to just sort of draw underneath the 3. Comes up a little short though, Phil. just trying to see what happens to the cue ball if he slices the 3 down the rail into this bottom right-hand corner. If he can miss the 7 and come back across twice. Okay, Blyler. Blyler will come back to the table with a nice look. 3-1 down. He's been in the chair for a little while, which is always a little bit tricky, but let's see.
It's amazing how the bump of that middle pocket just gets in players' minds.
Tapping the chalk there, hoping the cue ball would cooperate. Got a bit straight here. In the pool, we always strive to have an angle to be able to move the cue ball around with a little bit less effort. Now I'll have to really put a good stroke on this one and probably use a lot of low left to try to whip it back and play the 5 on the side where we see that red 3. Touch short. He'll have his work cut out for him, but I think he can come around 3 rails and play the 7 in the side. Bit of high right, 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 rails. Play the 7 in this middle side pocket by us. 4 1/4 inch pockets, guys. This is a little more of a tester than it might look on the screen.
Extension, please.
Did get away with it, though.
Yeah, so important for Blyler to come away from that miss unscathed.
Filler weighing his options here. Doesn't just run the balls great, but also kicks and plays safe and so on. The little nuances of defense he handles extraordinarily well, too. Comes 2 rails underneath, and did he hook him on the 7? It's quite close from here. I believe he did. And he did somewhat play that, going 2 rails underneath and trying to come up table with the cue ball. He knew that there were balls that could interfere. Looks like he's kicking underneath. Okay, that'll do.
Yeah, it was an effective shot. Obviously, chipping the black 8 ball out. That wasn't surely part of the plan. So rack 5 hangs in the balance.
But it does, and it looks like Joshua's trying to see if he has just enough to thin the 5, or if he has to kick. He's going with the ladder. Oh my, Phil. Oh. Well, that's not too bad there, guys. I mean, my goodness.
Well, that is a kick extraordinaire, and for Joseph Blyler, a kick in the teeth.
A touch thick there, but found its home, and it looks like 4-1 filler.
Yes, in remarkable circumstances.
Josh Filler wins the rack.
What a turnaround in the momentum of the rack, and you have to think, what a potential turnaround in the momentum of the match as a whole. So right now, you know, around this arena, we've got a race going on to see who will be the first player to record a victory in the US Open. Right now, the big favourite is Matthias Snigotsky, who over on table 23 leads Jeremiah Stanfield by 8 racks to 0. Jason Shaw, now the early problems for him seem to have gone away. He's 6-3 up, doubling up on Esteban Robles. Jonas Soto Camino going well against Chris Cameron from the USA. Camino is a young Spanish player who leads 6-0 and the great character of 9-ball pool. Naoki Oi, he's 6-1 up on David Daya. So much going on, it's quite difficult actually to keep up with everything.
Joshua Filler is leading by 4x to 1 in the break.
Room is packed. So many great players out there getting started. Round 1, always a little jittery. Watch that 6-ball, guys. Been flying in the corner for Filler. Cooperates once again. See if he elects to bank it cross-side or plays it safe. Both seem viable. Pockets ball so well. We saw him bank that 5-ball earlier cross-side in rack 1. Does elect to play safe. Might get him. Almost got him on the 4, but still well done. 2-7 in the way, so Blyler will have to kick 2 rails underneath, believe. Maybe with a little speed, 1 into the 9. You got to gamble against these guys. I mean,
well, if you don't gamble in Atlantic City, where will you gamble?
that's right. I mean,
Extension, please.
looks like he is coming 2 rails underneath into the 1. Maybe give him a bit of a ride. Hits it thinly, and it looks like, unfortunately for Blyler, Filler will have a nice look to extend. It's a bit of work here. See how he navigates position on the 2.
There you saw on that particular shot how dominant the left eye of Filler is. Look, he's not cueing under his chin, he's well outside of his face.
He does have that cue under the 1 eye style, which is a bit rare, I think, at the top levels. Oh, really nice. They're so confident. Likes to play it in the corner as opposed to the side.
And I'm sure you'll agree that it's amazing just how left-handers in all sports somehow look aesthetically pleasing, stylish.
Oh, there's nothing like a southpaw. I mean, it's true. I don't know why that is, but I guess we don't see them that often. But Filler, Rodney Morris, of course, comes to mind. Been a lot of great lefties over the years, and he's starting to feel it now, Phil.
Yeah, into this, the early nerves have been quelled.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
This is why they call him the killer. Joshua Filler going great guns. He lost the opening rack. Now, though, he's 5-1 ahead, more than halfway to victory. today we will have 192 matches played in the US Open. The first day of the tournament is the busiest day. 33 tables are currently in operation here at the Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And the centre of attention right now, quite rightly, is the defending champion. 5-1 up. Joshua Filler on Joseph Blyler. And I can give you the first two results of the tournament. Mateusz Snigodzki got to the line first, won 9-0 against Jeremiah Stanfield in 50 minutes. And Jason Shaw is through. He was 2-0 down against Esteban Robles, but he won 9-3.
That one's over, Phil? Wow. Filler's trying to see if he has to go rail first here or not. Don't believe he got there. I think he's hooked on the 2 from the 8. Looks a little bit displeased, and I'll take a first look at Filler's jump cue prowess. All of these guys jump so well at the highest levels. I think Filler's right up there with anybody. I mean, come on, guys, what's going on? You know, it's when they're straight, it's one thing, but to just jump, slice it down the rail, and come 1-2 across is, wow.
And of course, that's why making Judd Trump favourite for this tournament is ridiculous, because he's got no history of playing jump shots, because in snooker they're not allowed.
No, you're right. It is a huge part of the modern day game. See how he navigates this 3-4. A little bit tricky. That's really nice there. Just under the 7. Doesn't mess around with the 8 and leaves himself a beautiful angle to get position on the 6 in some sort of a fashion. It's to watch out here. He may have been playing that 1-2-3 to strike the 7, or if he misses it, perhaps get away with it. But it came down where he missed the 7 and has left himself hooked on the 6. So we'll see how he proceeds here.
Well, it's a 30-second shot clock in operation, as with all Matchroom tournaments. And Filler decides the extension has to be taken here. Understandably so.
He's going to kick into the side rail, and he's trying to decide what to do after he contacts the 6. It looks like he's trying to hit it low, maybe send the 6 somewhat by the 9, and perhaps draw the cue ball off of the 6 towards the 8. Or maybe he can kick it and just stop right there. Does kind of gamble on some things, and Blyler will have a nice chance to maybe get something going, although the 6 did drift down somewhat precariously to the rail. Not sure if he can slice this one in, or if he'll have to play safe. It's pretty thin. Maybe he can twist it in, though.
Yeah, chances of what would be a monumental upset are fast drifting away. You would think Blyler has to win this rack.
Yes. This one would be in the pantheon of all-time sports upsets, seemingly.
But of course, after seeing Emma Raducanu win the women's singles about 120 miles from here, up in New York City at the Tennis US Open on Saturday, anything's possible.
Indeed. That's why we play the game, Phil. Came up a little bit short there. It's a nice effort, but he just didn't quite get the 6 below the 9 or to the bottom rail. And a really nice stroke there, a little bit of a drag stroke. Not really high ball, not really low ball, but just a sort of center ball.
being perhaps overly critical, Filler was just a wee bit hesitant at the start, but all of that is now gone flying out of the window into the nearby water here. We're on the waterfront in Atlantic City, and Joshua Blyler, well, he is on the road to defeat, it would seem, because Josh Filler now leads 6-1. Yeah, Joseph made that tremendous start, winning the first rack. The local, we thought, is this going to be some kind of fairy tale story? Thereafter, though, Filler has just looked the part. I can tell you that Jonas Soto Camino, 8-0 up now on Chris Cameron, make that 9-0. Instantaneously, the result has come through. He has completed a whitewash, the young Spaniard. Naoki Oi, 6-3 up on David Dyer. Konrad Jujushkin from Poland, he leads Vincent Cimarelli 8-3, so he's on the verge as well.
Watch that 5 ball, the purple 5. Oh, nice little kick there as well. Perfect position on the 1 to drift over for the 2, and seems the key to this rack is the 3 to the 5. It's the only potential issue. Leaves himself a lovely angle to play the 5 where he's about to play the 3. Should drift off 1 or 2 rails. It's up a little bit short here, Phil.
Yeah, I think of all the aspects of his game, positional play has been the weakest, although not too weak. When you're 6-1 ahead, you can't be too pernickety.
And he pockets balls so well that it's easy to get a touch lackadaisical positionally. One would think when you have such incredible just ability to kind of navigate when you get in trouble. Weighing his options, corner versus the side. Could jack up and play it in the side. But looks like he's going towards the corner. I'll try to just miss scratching in the side and maybe come between the 8 and the 9. Plays the bank. Maybe a two-way shot of sorts, and what a great look for Blyler here. See the 5 hanging up in the corner. 6 in the middle of the table. Position is really no issue. Just have to miss the 7. Could consider playing this rail first. Very nice. Little bit of a tester here. Anytime the cue ball's frozen on the rail or close to it, things get a bit murky, but he should be okay.
Yeah, and he should clear up really from here and doubly score.
Yeah, I think we want to just roll this one in, although you could consider following around with the new cloth that's played in tournaments. It can get a bit slippery. And he does try to come around, and it's tough when you're out there against the best player in the world. Haven't been to the table in a while. We see him slam the chalk down. He's a little bit frustrated. Do believe he's snookered Joshua, though, so he'll have to figure something out. We saw him go 2 rails and kick the 5 in earlier, which was pretty remarkable. He might be going for the same sort of a shot here.
Well, what you're seeing here in so many ways, the way he was clapping at certain shots that Philip pulled off earlier, the way he slams his chalk like that, the way he walked into the arena all full of himself.
Oh, my.
You're seeing an exposure of experience. He's got very little at this level, but having said that, who would have thought Philip would fail to make any kind of contact on the 6?
Yeah, and the reason that he missed the 6 was he was trying to make it where he had to go 1-2 and hit it quite thin. So an aggressive choice, and obviously a great look with for Blyler to clear these and cut the deficit to 6-2. Uh-oh. It's got to settle. Does just settle, so close to his work, but should be okay to just pinch it back. Play the 9 in the bottom left. Okay.
Joseph Blyler gets off 1 onto 2. He missed the 6, but then Filler missed the 6 completely. That was the story of that rack, and maybe, just maybe, the underdog will gain something from that, and this match isn't over yet. Here you can see coming across the bottom of your screens some of the scores on the outside tables, such as Sanyan Perlovanovic, who's 6-1 ahead, I notice. Aloysius Yap, who was a semi-finalist in the World 10-Ball Championship in Las Vegas last week, losing out to the eventual winner, Eklund Kachi. He's also going nicely. And a victory for Mohammed Ali Bajawi from Lebanon, who's defeated Steve Lillis from right here in the USA by 9 racks to 1. It must be so daunting, you know, for the defending champion coming back here trying to repeat. When you think 256 players involved.
The 9th rank. Joseph Blyler is
Let's look at Wimbledon tennis, 128 there. The World Snooker Championship starts with 144. 156 at the Open Golf Championship. Here it's 256.
Yeah, it is quite a field, Phil. Nice break there from Blyler. Looks like he has a little bit of a look here. The 6-7 that's tied up there in the bottom left. So that seems to be the issue with the rack. And this 2-3 is a touch dicey. Hard to tell just how thin he is if he can hold it up and play the 3 in that back corner pocket, or if he has to maybe come to the rail and try to play the 3 where he's pocketing the 2. Let's see. He does try to hold it up, maybe cheat the pocket a hair, but cheated it a little bit too much, Phil. And let's see how Filler navigates.
He's only 23, Josh Filler, but he's already built up an incredible CV of success. He's vastly experienced.
Right. On the world stage. Believe the 6 just goes if he can nestle the cue ball on the rail or close to it. He's looking at it now. It certainly goes rail first, but I think he can get position to just play it straight away. Might be a hair short. It doesn't look like it the way he's getting down. He does play it rail first and handles it beautifully. Just needs to avoid the 8. Does.
Good to me.
Perfect position on the 7.
I think it was good.
Yeah, the right-hand side just flicked the ball in beautifully.
This is the kind of guy to play it up in the corner, but of course this would be a bit extreme. I think he is. I mean, do you guys play that one up top or just sort of accept the hanger in the side?
For Filler, it was a routine.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
Very good indeed. Filler now 7-2 ahead. That means he is 1 rack away from being on the hill, 2 racks away from victory in this, his first match in defense of the US Open title. It's all going according to plan for Joshua Filler. 7-2
Thank you,
up
rack number 10, Joshua Filler to break.
on Joseph
Leading
Blyler.
by 7 racks to 2.
The race is to 9, of course, so he's getting ever closer to his first objective here in Atlantic City this week.
See if he slices it or likes to bank it cross corner, maybe pull the cue ball back slightly for position on the 2. I suppose he could play safe as well. Multitude of options there if he elects to go with the safety. The way he's cueing it, it looks like an aggressive choice. Oh, and he does slice it. Lovely. Comes into the 6. Makes the 5 for dessert. Straight in on the 2.
Like that for dessert.
A little dessert, you know.
Listen, looking at me, you know I like my desserts.
A little bit short, but does leave himself an angle to come cross table for position on the 6.
Of course, we must emphasise that this is double elimination, and so consequently one defeat isn't the end of your involvement in the tournament. But right now it's looking increasingly like a bye-bye to Blyler.
Just makes it look so easy, guys. Forgive the obvious, but 8-2 now, Filler, and I mean, just handled that in such short order.
Yes, on the hill so easily. And Joseph Blyler has been given a lesson in just how good the top guys are at international 9-ball pool. Some more results for you. Jonas Camino, as we said, whitewashed Chris Cameron 9-0. Konrad Yuyushin, he beat Vincent Cimarelli 9-4. There was a possibility of a major upset involving Billy Thorpe, and there could still be. He was 5-3 down to Raymond Linares. Now, though, Thorpe leads 7-6.
Shaping up to be an exciting finish. First round nerves in a match like that. Race to 9, 7-6. Lock and happen. Let's see if Thorpe can pull it out.
Yeah, and Omar Halshaheen, who almost pulled off that famous World Championship victory at Milton Keynes in June. He's on the verge. He's, in fact, as I speak, just defeated James Prather 9-2.
The
so
11th
the Kuwaiti
Joshua Filler is breaking on the hill,
comfortably.
leading 8-2.
Filler on the hill. Watch that 3 ball. Try to make the 3, which he does, and get position on the 1. Which it appears he does. I mean, there is an art to breaking the balls quite this consistently, and Filler certainly up there with anybody in the world as far as navigating the 9-ball break. Seems so often he makes a ball or 2 and gets position on the 1. He has here, and it's like this could be all she wrote for Blyler. Oh, authority there, below the side, above the 7. Perfect on the 4. Kid has such a nice stroke. Leaves himself an angle on the 5 to pop out center table. Yeah.
Good feeling, Nick, isn't it, when you're so close like this and so well ahead?
It is. Pinches it back ever so slightly to give himself a little wiggle room on the 8 to get position on the 9. Beautiful watching the German work, Phil, this Atlantic City morning.
Joshua Filler wins the rack and the match.
So there it is, to no one's surprise, perhaps only to the surprise of Joseph Blyler, the local is defeated. The man who is trying to defend this title, Joshua Filler, comes through impressively and quickly. He defeats Joshua Blyler in our first match on the main table here at the US Open at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City by 9 racks to 2.